The ongoing saga between Blueface and Chrisean Rock has once again erupted into a chaotic spectacle, captivating social media and drawing intense scrutiny from fans and critics alike. This time, the drama centers around Blueface's alleged orchestration of a violent eviction of Chrisean from his home, involving his father and a group of associates, following her public display of affection with her new partner, Titan Newton. The situation is further complicated by their recent jailhouse marriage, the involvement of their young son, Junior, and a series of disturbing accusations that paint a troubling picture of their toxic relationship. As the details unfold, it's clear that this is not just another celebrity spat, but a deeply personal and troubling conflict with serious implications for all involved, particularly their child. The latest chapter in this tumultuous relationship began when Chrisean, also known as Chrisean, posted a video on social media showing her kissing Titan Newton, her new romantic interest. This act of defiance came shortly after her marriage to Blueface, which took place while he was incarcerated. The video, which also hinted at intimate moments between Chrisean and Titan, sent Blueface into a rage. According to sources, his immediate reaction was to enlist his father, described as a deadbeat by some, along with a group of associates, to forcibly remove Chrisean and her belongings from his Los Angeles home. The eviction was not only carried out, but also recorded and shared online, seemingly to humiliate Chrisean further. The video showed Blueface's father gleefully participating in the act, adding a layer of public shaming to an already volatile situation. This drastic response from Blueface was reportedly triggered by his fury over Chrisean's public display of affection with Titan. However, the roots of this conflict run much deeper. Chrisean has been vocal about the ongoing issues in their relationship, accusing Blueface of insecurity and controlling behavior that made her life unbearable, even after she agreed to marry him during his incarceration. In a recent Instagram live session, she detailed how Blueface and his mother, Carissa, had been targeting her and Junior unprovoked. Chrisean claimed that Carissa had used derogatory language, including the R-word, to describe Junior's cognitive challenges, while Blueface had reposted videos mocking the child's health issues. These actions, she argued, were part of a pattern of intentional cruelty aimed at both her and their son. Chrisean's decision to go public with these accusations came after a particularly distressing incident in which Blueface allegedly posted images of Junior's private parts on social media, an act she initially forgave, believing his remorse was genuine. However, she now believes that Blueface harbors resentment toward their son and uses such actions to humiliate him deliberately. This realization, coupled with the lack of support from Blueface and Carissa during a time when Junior was being mocked online for appearing visibly autistic, pushed Chrisean to her breaking point. She announced her intention to divorce Blueface, admitting that she had married him out of fear rather than love. In her own words, she described feeling like an anchor was holding her back, preventing her from realizing her potential. Her decision to move on with Titan was framed as a step toward reclaiming her life and escaping the toxic cycle with Blueface. The public's reaction to this drama has been mixed, with some sympathizing with Chrisean's plight and others criticizing her for her role in the ongoing chaos. Many were unsurprised by her decision to move on, given the history of dysfunction in her relationship with Blueface. However, the involvement of Junior in this public feud has drawn significant concern. Commenters on social media have pointed out the inconsistency of Blueface's parents, who are quick to engage in Chrisean-related drama, but were absent when Junior needed a stable home during both parents' incarcerations. One user remarked, "Blue's parents be front and center when it comes to Chrisean drama, but nowhere to be found when Junior needed a temporary home when both parents were locked up." This sentiment underscores the broader issue of Junior's well-being, which seems to be an afterthought amidst the adults' conflicts. Carissa, Blueface's mother, has been a vocal participant in this saga, vehemently denying Chrisean's accusations. She refuted claims that she used the R-word to describe Junior and defended Blueface's decision to post images of the child's private parts, arguing that it was a desperate attempt to draw attention to Junior's neglected hernia surgery. Carissa framed Chrisean as vindictive, accusing her of trying to sabotage Blueface's relationship with his son. She also claimed that Blueface had not instructed his father to record the eviction, asserting that his father's decision to film and share the video was an independent act of clout chasing. According to Carissa, Blueface had only asked his father to prepare the house for his release, intending to assume the role of a single father. However, given Carissa's history of defending her son's controversial actions, her account has been met with skepticism. Chrisean, meanwhile, has expressed a mix of relief and fear in the wake of these events. During another Instagram Live session, she described the eviction as a blessing in disguise, as it marked her final break from a toxic relationship. She revealed that she was not in Los Angeles at the time of the incident, as she was with Titan in Baltimore, but the public nature of the eviction still stung. More alarmingly, she disclosed that Blueface had been sending life-threatening messages targeting both her and Junior, which has left her fearful for their safety. Chrisean also criticized Blueface for involving his parents in their disputes, arguing that grandparents should remain neutral and supportive rather than active participants in the drama. The complexity of this situation is further highlighted by Chrisean's acknowledgement of her own mistakes. She admitted to staying in the relationship longer than she should have, driven by fear and a misguided sense of loyalty. However, she also lashed out at her critics, urging them to recognize her humanity and the challenges of navigating such a high-profile, toxic relationship. Her frustration was palpable as she addressed the constant harassment and threats she faces, emphasizing that the situation is far from a laughing matter. She referenced a comment by media personality Jason Lee, who expressed concern for her well-being, underscoring the gravity of the threats she's received. As the drama continues to unfold, questions remain about Chrisean's next steps and whether she is truly done with Blueface. Her decision to leave her belongings in his home while pursuing a new relationship has sparked debate, with some arguing that she should have removed her items sooner to avoid such a confrontation. Others believe that Blueface's reaction was disproportionate and indicative of his inability to move on. The involvement of Titan Newton, who appears to be a significant factor in Chrisean's newfound resolve, adds another layer of intrigue. Her public displays of affection with him, including a suggestive video that implied intimacy, were a clear message to Blueface that she is moving forward, but they also provoked his retaliatory actions. The broader implications of this feud extend beyond the personal grievances of Blueface and Chrisean. At the heart of this conflict is Junior, a young child caught in a maelstrom of adult dysfunction. Chrisean's accusations that Blueface and his family are targeting their son raise serious concerns about the child's emotional and physical safety. The public nature of this dispute, amplified by social media, means that Junior is exposed to ridicule and scrutiny that no child should endure. Chrisean's plea for her son to be off limits in their conflicts is a desperate attempt to shield him, but the damage may already be done. Blueface's silence in the face of these accusations is notable, though his actions speak volumes. His decision to involve his father in the eviction, whether or not he intended for it to be filmed, reflects a pattern of behavior that prioritizes retaliation over resolution. His history of posting sensitive content about Junior and engaging in public feuds suggests a lack of regard for the consequences of his actions, particularly on his son. Carissa's defense of her son, while expected, does little to address the underlying issues of accountability and responsibility. For Chrisean, the path forward is fraught with challenges. Her decision to pursue a divorce and build a new life with Titan is a bold step, but the threats she claims to have received indicate that her safety and that of her son remain at risk. Her public statements oscillate between defiance and vulnerability, reflecting the emotional toll of this ordeal. While some fans applaud her for standing her ground, others question whether she can fully extricate herself from Blueface's orbit, given their shared history and child.